So then, this is going to be part 1 paint job. There's actually 2 parts, and I'll explain why in a minute. What we're going to be doing today, just today, is a base coat, just a tap coat for everything to sort of stick to. Tomorrow is when we do the actual proper paint job, and that's going to be intense. So for the base coat, we are using a matte black engine enamel. It's VHT engine enamel. This is basically used for painted engine parts. You're probably wondering why I'm using engine paint, but it's a very good reason, and we'll find that out tomorrow, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and get this on. 2 dust coats of that, front and back, and the front and headstock. Let's see how we get on. Right, well, here goes nothing. Right then, I'll leave that for about half an hour and then come back and do another one. Alright, base coat number 2. Okay, that's the day done. Morning. So it's been 1 day since we did the dust coat. God, I nearly forgot what I was saying then. It's come out alright. I'm not 100% happy with the finish. There's some dings and scratches. I mean, you only really see them once you put a black coat on it. You can really see it. So there are some dings and some scratch marks and stuff like that, but you know what, I'm not actually massively bothered about it. It gives it a bit of character, I suppose. Just hopefully it won't mess up the finish, but we'll see. So what are we actually doing? Well, you see I was using that engine enamel yesterday, and I said I'd show you what we're doing. So again, we're going to do engine enamel base coat, and then we're going to follow it up with this stuff. This is Crackle paint. This is white crackle paint. What it does basically, so I'm just putting it back into warm water. So what it does is effectively it reacts with the paint underneath, and then it splits apart, so you get to see the undercoat underneath, and it crackles really nicely. But there's several ways you can do that. You can either do it and just leave it, and like the can says to leave it for like an hour between coats, but to get the effect that I really want, which is like an 80s sort of jagged edge crackle, you've got to speed that process up somewhat. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one base coat really thick with the engine enamel, leave it to dry for 10 minutes, that's it. Then do another coat of base really thick again, leave it for 10 minutes, and then we're going to hit it with a white base crackle again, really thick, like tons and tons of paint's going to go on this today. And then as soon as that's done, you need to speed up the process. So I've got myself a heat gun, I'll show you in a minute, nothing expensive, just something cheap off eBay. And that starts to really speed that process up. So have a look at the setup, shall we? So we're out in Nature's spray booth today. I borrowed the gazebo from my parents, so thank you to my parents. And like I said, we're putting base coat on really thick, so what I've had to do is to make sure that doesn't run, is set it up on this old washing basket. This is actually my wife's idea. Some cardboard tubing, so I can actually spin that around, so whatever edge I'm doing, it's going to be facing the sky, so those drips, it won't drip basically. I'm still undecided whether I'm going to do the headstock at the same time or not. I probably will, and then just see how we go, and give it a rub down with the tack cloth before we start. And then you can see my heat gun is there ready to go, so fingers crossed. We've only really got one shot at this, otherwise I'm going to have to send it all off and start again. So let's see how we get on. Right, so that's the base coat's done. I've actually moved the gazebo around because the sun's starting to come over. I don't want the sun to start drying it out in certain places, because I need to have it so it dries evenly. Flip this over. I actually did 3 base coats, and to be fair, 2 cans of VHT was actually perfect for that. Now the timer's on, I'm just waiting for that to go off, and then it's time for the crackle. Bloody hell, wish me luck for this one. Alright then, here we go for my side. Do this. Well, that was a really intense hour. They weren't lying on the videos that I watched doing crackle finishes that it is just bloody intense and stressful. Hopefully that caught it on the camera, but I'm going to show you what it looks like to start with. It's still doing its thing, but this is roughly what it's going to look like. I'll take a video later and show you, but let's have a look, shall we? Look at that. Absolutely look at that. It's kind of halfway what I was going for. So like you can see it's sort of like a tile pattern, but it's still all jagged and gnarly and stuff. But I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with that. That is mega. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. So the sides are a little bit tighter, but still not bad at all. But the front just looks absolutely kick-ass. Unbelievable. Tight around there, but that's okay. These are really hard to do. And there's actually pretty good. Oh, look at the headstock, just spin it around slowly. This ran a little bit, you can see like the pattern starts to run down towards the end, but you know what, actually it still looks pretty cool. I think this is brilliant. Like I said, this is going to do its thing for a little while, so I'm going to leave it out here to dry. It's still going to continue to crack. Some people like to put clear coat on it now to stop the process where it is, but I think it's just going to reveal more and more, and we'll see where we get to. But for now, yeah.